Professor Jeffrey Eischen joined the MAE department in 1986 as an assistant professor. During his 36 years with MAE, Dr. Eischen has served in many roles and made significant contributions to research, undergraduate programs, curriculum development, teaching, student and alumni engagement, and much more. In this video, we will walk down memory lane with Dr. Eischen and hear about the highlights of his career in his own words.
Well, in this business, when you're looking for an academic position, I was just coming out of my PhD program, there's not a lot of job openings across the country. So NC State was one of them. I made a visit here and I really liked the people. The Raleigh area had a nice weather, climate. It seemed to be kind of an up and coming area. And everything just worked out for me to get that first job as a professor.
What are some of your early memories with MAE?
Well, I don't want to make myself sound too old or antiquated, but when I first started, there was not really any email. That was just barely coming to the fore. I had a IBM PC XT computer, which was nothing like what we have now. It had basically no graphics, very slow, very limited memory. Thinking back, I'm really kind of amazed at how much research work I was able to get done with that computer. All of our communications with people outside was through hard copy letters. We had secretaries that would type those letters. They would actually type all of our journal articles for us, which is very different than now. We do that ourselves. I wrote on a chalkboard when I was in the classroom, which some students that are here today would probably not even know what that meant. And then of course Broughton Hall, which a lot of us have fond memories of, had a lot of nooks and crannies, a lot of history. I worked in the diesel wing, that's where my office was. That building was constructed in 1944, and it was old when I started there in 1986. So, but it was a fantastic place to work.
Tell us about your experience moving from Broughton Hall on main campus to Engineering Building 3 on Centennial Campus in 2010.
Well, it was a very exciting time for everybody. I mean, Broughton Hall, as I mentioned, was an older building, and we knew we were just moving into some fantastic facilities over here on Centennial Campus. It was all very well planned out. It went very smoothly, the move itself. I do remember that probably I think just the interactions between the faculty and the staff and everybody else almost seemed like it became more professional after we were here, just because we were all in such a much improved environment. I was almost embarrassed sometimes when I'd have visitors come. I sometimes avoided using my office for meetings with outside people because every once in a while the roof would leak, things like that. It was noisy. The air conditioning wasn't very good. And once we came here, that was just never a problem again. Everybody was super proud to show off the building and to have visitors come.
What courses have you taught and developed over the years?
Well, the undergraduate courses focus mainly in the solid mechanics area. I taught both of those classes, the MAE 214, which is just called solid mechanics. And then there's a follow-on course, MAE 316, which is more advanced topics. I also taught a senior class called Design of Mechanical Systems, which the students take right before the formal senior design. And then recently I developed and taught for many years MAE 200. It was a new course that started in 2016. Students wanted more hands-on experience, and it was a class that we developed that actually is taught in the senior design shop, and students ran a lot of equipment. We tore things apart and put them back together. They had design competitions. They learned a lot about different manufacturing processes. So it was just a nice introduction to our department and a way for the students to get into the shop and to work on things with their hands. At the graduate level, I've taught quite a few classes, again, mainly in the mechanics area. I developed a course in fracture mechanics. It was a new course for the department. It was kind of my research area. So I've taught that for many, many years now. I've just recently passed it on to one of my colleagues.
What are some of your favorite or most memorable projects?
Well, it's kind of a bookend thought there. At the very start of my career, I was approached by the College of Textiles. They had a need to model the drape of fabrics on the human body. And I'd always had an interest in nonlinear shell theory, which is a perfect application for that problem. There aren't nearly as many applications actually in engineering. So again, on that old IBM PCXT computer, I wrote a code that could model cloth draping on the human body, and what happened to it is the person that was wearing the clothing would move, watch all the wrinkles and things develop like that, so that was really fun. More recently, Dr. Silverberg and I have kind of gone off the rails a little bit in the research area. We're working in basic physics. We've discovered a new theory of gravity that's kind of an extension of Newton's classical gravity theory that we found matches general relativity exactly. So we're super excited about that. It's something we've kind of dabbled in for about 15 years, but just during the last several years, and especially during the pandemic, we had a real breakthrough, and we're publishing papers and trying to get this theory out in the community. Probably in terms of working directly with students, I advised the ASME student group for many years. And we would travel every year to the big ASME national meeting. It was called IMECE. We went to cities all over the country, and for many students it was often their first big trip like that on an airplane. So that was really gratifying to watch the students experience that. They would also participate every year in what's called the Student Design Competition. And in 2015, our department actually won that. And it was a huge accomplishment because MAE departments from all over the world would compete in this, and very difficult to actually win it. And our students developed a robot that could go through water, through sand, up some steps, and then drop a beanbag through a target hole at the top of this little hill. And we had two teams that year that went to the meeting, and one team won first place and the other one won third. So NC State really swept the competition that year. So that was just super exciting. One of the most rewarding classes I've ever taught was mechanical design engineering, which was part of a study abroad program in China in the period 2012 to 2019. It was a course that was developed by Dr. Zarowski, where we would take a group of MAE students to Zhejiang University in Hangzhou, China, bring in a group of local students from China, and then Caterpillar had a manufacturing facility there where they would provide us with a very interesting design project every year that the students could work on. I worked in the undergraduate advising office with you for several years and your staff, and that was really a lot of fun, a lot of work, but it's something to really be proud of, the way we advise our students in the department. While there, we developed what was called the MAE Pop. It's now called the Pack the Oval Party, which we hold every fall outside the building here. It's kind of a welcome event. We serve food, we have music, faculty, staff are out there, and it's just a nice way to start the year. I also work with our development person and alumni groups to start something called MAE Connect, which is kind of morphed into Ask the Pack now. It's where students can access any of the alumni from the department, or in fact any alumni from across the university, and ask them questions about their upcoming career. And then one other thing we've done that had a little bit of a hiatus during the pandemic is we did MAE networking lunches, where local alumni would meet with students in the area here, and they could get some career advice and another opportunity to network with alums. Had a lot of very gratifying research projects that I've been able to work on. Teaching, I thoroughly enjoyed. I think that's probably a good thing if you're a professor to enjoy teaching, but I certainly did. And I've just had some wonderful colleagues over the years, and the support of the staff here in the MAE department has been just excellent, and I'll always remember that.
I've had the pleasure of working with Jeff since I joined MAE nearly 20 years ago. As Jeff's and my roles within the department evolved over the years, they eventually converged when he accepted the role of Director of Undergraduate Student Affairs and became my supervisor. During the years Jeff and I worked together in the undergraduate office, I learned so much from him. He was always willing to step in and help, supporting his colleagues, students, alumni, and corporate partners. He is the person that many of us go to for sound, practical advice. I am so thankful for the opportunities I've had to get to know and grow in friendship with Jeff and his lovely wife Francesca over the years. On behalf of the MAE department, thank you, Jeff, for all of your contributions, brilliant ideas, hard work, and steadfast support. The impact you've made on our department is great and will benefit generations of MAE graduates.
Thank you very much, Cheryl. I really appreciate those kind words.